Hello and welcome back to this channel. If for some reason you're one of those people who was subscribed and saw the replays I used to do ages and ages ago. So I had a game in Baltimore the other day that I thought was worthy of actually going onto the YouTube channel here. So, yeah. World of Warships replays. So going into a battle here on Northern Lights. Tier 9 game. Nothing particularly interesting in terms of team composition. Decent amount of battleships, decent amount of cruisers, decent amount of destroyers. Now, the Baltimore is a ship that I have always really liked. I liked it a lot when it used to be tier 9, which feels like ages ago now. And I still really like the ship. So the Baltimore, you would think, like, with a lot of the American cruisers, it's kind of like a middle ground ship, but kind of jack of all trades. And that's sort of true to some extent, but the Baltimore has a couple things that it has going for it. One, the AP is fantastic, as with the whole American heavy cruiser line, so you can really get some good citadels and stuff. Two, detection is very low, and it has radar. Now, you may notice that the detection is 11 kilometers, which is actually not all that great. That's because this is an 8-point captain, because when I kept the ship, the captain went up. And so yeah, I was just trying to, get a 10-point captain so I could get down into concealment of under my radar range, that if I get spotted, I can radar people. So yeah, I'm just going up onto the western flank of this map, trying to get a good positioning next to this island. And right off the bat, we have spotted a couple of battleships coming in over there, and I really don't want to get caught out broadside to them, so I start turning immediately. Because that is not a fun time. Here we see he has opened up. It is a Jean Bart. And that's not going to do much. So that's good. I'm not shooting back because I want to drop out of detection as soon as possible. But it appears that something is spotting me, some sort of destroyer. So I just begin firing I begin firing because I have nothing else to do. So, angled Jean Bart, not much we can do there other than just shoot some HE at it, and then, oh boy, there's a lot of destroyers, or a lot of cruisers over here. We have a Neptune, which is real tasty. I wish I had AP loaded, so I'm loading it up now. We're going to see if we can get any citadels on that Neptune before he disappears, because he is real tasty. Someone just hit him a little bit. And there's our nice first big salvo of the game, a nice 16,000 on the Neptune. We're going to do similarly to this Buffalo over here, who looks to be moving a little slowly. And broadside for some reason, but we're taking a lot of damage as we try to retreat here because I was not expecting the cruisers in the middle there to be as aggressive as they were, so I just want to do a little damage to this Buffalo before he drops out of detection, because he is super broadside. Second salvo is a little disappointing, doesn't really do much, but we can live with it. Third salvo, it's okay, doesn't kill him though, and he will get to live another day. So, now we are retreating off of this flank, and if you take a look around, you might notice that there is, for some reason, 2 battleships who chose not to go left, circled back, and are just, chilling behind the team, doing something. So that's not great, but I can't really go over to the A-B cap area without getting obliterated by several battleships. And there is a shot from a Ashitaka that was 20 kilometers away. So, yeah, great start to the game. Got some citadels, but, yeah, we have no health. And now we are in the middle of the map. The enemy's kind of posted up behind all the islands. I don't really know where to approach, so I'm just going to head over towards D, where there's a big island I can just kind of cower behind for a while. So now let's talk about the last thing that the Baltimore is good at. So, I am at 8,000 health right now, but this ship actually has a surprising amount of armor for almost any cruiser in this game. It has enough armor that any 15-inch or below shells will ricochet with correct angling. This makes this ship pretty good at just specifically bullying Bismarck and Tirpitz if you go bow onto them. But yeah, we gotta make the most of our 8,000 health left here if we want to stay alive in this game and do anything at all. King George is fired. I'm considering whether I want to shoot two. Put in some HE, see if we can start a fire. I'm coming around a corner, so he probably won't be able to shoot me. Yep, and I drop out of detection. So we'll throw another salvo his way. Ashitaka's way in the distance. So we're just trying to play pretty conservative here. Make sure we don't do anything too disastrous. You got the Neptune spotted again, which I would love to shoot at, so, you know, wait for him to turn. He looks like he might be about to turn, but we'll see if that pans out okay. Ooh, 3 citadels. And so the Neptune has now taken quite a lot of damage from us, but we have a big problem, and that is a Jean Bart coming through the middle. I just kind of pull my butt in there to try to get around the corner and get unspotted as quickly as possible. But now I am only on 5,000 health and an even worse position. But hey, there's a Neptune to shoot at. That's always the bright part of the day. And once again, does not disappoint. 3 citadels on Mr. Neptune. Try to finish him off, but the Iowa gets there first. Now, we have a battleship and a cruiser directly behind us. And kinda close. So we cannot drop out of detection. And yeah, they're just gonna kinda get free shots at it. We get another citadel there on the Cleveland. But yeah, if that Jean Bart ever starts paying attention, things may be not looking good. So just keeping an eye on the Jean Bart. I figure he's gonna start noticing my existence pretty soon, so we'll load up HE, get ready to fire at him. Yep, he's looking over. Now I'm gonna bring my ship over, because again, Baltimore has armor, and everything bounces. Jean Bart's guns not able to overmatch the armor, and I am perfectly safe. Well, at least for the moment, because I still have a Jean Bart behind me, but just trying to wrap around this corner, set a fire, and get the heck out of here. So somehow we get out of this situation with 4,000 health remaining. Don't ask me how. I was kind of shocked that I had lived this long, and we've done like a solid 93,000 damage. Pretty good for a game in which we started at like 20,000 health, and then within another minute we're at 8,000 health. Just posting up here as I try to figure out what the enemy team is doing. There is an Ashitaka way up north that I don't want to deal with, so I'm not going to go towards him. We've got some battleships wrapping around possibly the back here, so I'm seeing if I can wait and any of them come out into an area where I can shoot over this island, because the American gun arcs are very high, so shooting over islands is pretty easy. And, ooh, it looks like we have an FDG coming into range. So I will join my cruiser friend in throwing some HE. A lot of people find the shell flight times on the American cruisers kind of unwieldy, because it is quite slow, and it does take a while for the shells to get there, and you have to lead quite a bit. But at the same time, it's kind of nice. As I previously mentioned, the shell arc allows you to shoot over islands much better than most other, especially heavy cruisers. And also, most of your hits will end up being plunging fire. So if I wanted to in that situation there, I probably could have fired AP at the Friedrich to decent effectiveness. But Friedrich has gone out of range. I'm not gonna chase him by any means. So I'm gonna head over here and see what I can do about the fact that there is 2 destroyers. Because we have radar, and if they try to escape, we can make them die. We can also look over and we can see way over here that the Ashitaka and the Alsace are having their own little duel in the top border of the map, which is always exciting. But very good for me, because if I was pinned in the middle there and spotted in any way, I would probably be dead. So thank you, Ashitaka. So the Alsace takes out the Z-39, so we only have one more destroyer left, and that is the Chungmu. So if we can get him down, then I would be feeling a lot better, because nothing is going to out-spot me. I'm going to pop radar here, see what we can see. You can see that the Chungmu is a little around the corner from me. So I'm going to start opening fire as soon as my guns get around the corner. And the Chungmu is kind of panicking here and runs into an island, which is a bad time for him. So we're going to claim our first kill. And oh shit, we are spotted. But the Jean Bart has not yet fired at us, so now I am slowing down, hoping that he doesn't respot me as he goes through that gap. Doesn't look like he will. I'm trying to judge my shot here to get a nice AP salvo in. We'll see how that does. Well, a lot of them went short, but we got 2 solid hits for 3,000. Now at this point, I am like pretty dedicated to not dying in this game, but I want to get a little more damage done, so we're gonna back up, try to increase the amount of time that we get to be in cover from this Jean Bart, who is turning away, so we'll switch to high explosive. Jean Bart should be thoroughly distracted by the battleship right next to him. So we'll open up a little bit. And now we are definitely spotted by this guy. So guess what he starts doing? He starts pointing these guns over here. But I anticipated that and completely stopped my ship, turned in, and they all miss. So yeah, and so it ends with a ram. And yeah, so that's the battle. It wasn't all that great in a damage sense, nor an XP sense, or an amount of stuff I did sense, but really what I just want to demonstrate is how you can try to survive in a game. What sort of like tactics and movement you can use to try to make sure that things don't shoot at you. And then also specifically for the Baltimore, how it's maybe a little underrated, and as you saw, the armor completely saved my butt. So yeah, if you have the Baltimore and are like, wow, this thing is really garbage, it doesn't do anything, I can't promise it will go well on your first attempts. But really, really don't be afraid to try to use its armor. Don't be just at maximum range, sitting broadside to people. That's just not the way to play the Baltimore. But yeah, that's that for this video. And if you guys are interested in seeing at least what I think is interesting replays in the future, do let me know. The whole coronavirus thing is going on, and I have a lot of free time. So until next time, guys, see ya.